the mind, the emotions. We had no other than Dr. Siegel, Bernie Siegel, who has become a very dear friend of ours. And has been so supportive of what we're doing, and he has always been willing to help out. And he has done a wonderful presentation on pictures by his cancer patients. He asked his cancer patients and their families to draw pictures of themselves. And it's amazing what he was able to find out about what was going on in their minds and in their thoughts. But it's not just about cancer patients he has worked with. He has worked with troubled kids, troubled parents, and he has always found out that by helping to help people deal with their inner fears, their inner concerns, that their bodies and their organ systems tend to work better, tend to help overcome, and they also, when he helps to help them straighten things out on the inside, he finds out that his treatment, his surgical treatment, worked a lot better. And he was a surgeon, of course. All right, so we have that taken, and obviously we have other presentations on the mind and the emotions. The next thing, of course, is the nervous system. And let's go on to the next slide. See, that's the problem with these things. Okay, the brain, nervous system. I did a webinar called The Human Brain, Your Master Control System. We actually have notes, and I think we have transcripts on that as well. The Human Brain, Your Master Control System. You really have to understand how your brain works, what you need to strengthen your brain. I think that's something that's really lacking in most of our nutritional approaches, and in many nutritional companies, they don't really focus on the brain. And tons. The reason the brain is so important, just a quick example, your brain is only 2% of your body weight, and yet it uses up 20% of your body's energy supply, your body's oxygen supply. Are you going to tell me that's not important? It's absolutely important. And we discuss a lot of things in that. One of our very, very main interests are with kids. We really want to help start kids off right. Kids have a tremendous ability to recover. The kids have a tremendous ability to be damaged at a tender age. So if we can help show parents what their kids need in terms of brain health, in terms of emotional support, in terms of using their brains properly, that will put them in good standing for the rest of their lives. And Miles Jones, who is an expert in those things, has come and done several webinars for us. And we have a transcript on saving our children's educational future as well as awakening your child. I don't think we have one on awakening your child's genius. But basically what we're trying to do is that we're trying to take you step by step through the resources that we have and how they can be applied to your life or to the life of someone else that you know. The next step, the next slide showed something on the endocrine system. Dr. Green is a fabulous, one of my favorite teachers, because he has such an interesting way of presenting information. And he talked about how important the endocrine system and the whole hormones are to the human body and to human function. And he has written a book called Perfect Balance. It's really easy to understand. If you can get it from Amazon.com, I strongly encourage you to get it, especially ladies, because he places a little bit more emphasis on ladies, because that's what he is. He's a reproductive endocrinologist. The next slide, or the next aspect, was the immune system. We had no other than Dr. Murray come speak to us about the immune system, immunology basics. And I tell you what, when you have a biochemistry professor emeritus talking about the immune system, you're going to have a lot of information, that's for sure. A lot of information. Now, does that mean you're going to understand everything? You're going to understand everything? No.
Thank goodness for the pictures.
Thank goodness for the pictures. Well, he put a lot of information, but I also did, I think I did a presentation on the immune system as well, which kind of like broke things down. The immune system, we have found out, is extremely empowered by aloe, the healing plant. Dr. McInally, who discovered the active ingredient in the healing plants, the active ingredient in aloe, which is called ace-mannan. he found he came over to talk on 2 separate occasions on the science behind it, and he has a book out on that topic. He did a great job. Dr. John Zeng, we're trying to get him back on, but he spoke again about the immune system, how the immune system is modulated, and he talked about a certain kind of mushroom that helps to moderate the immune system or modulate the immune system. That mushroom, of course, has micronutrients as well. Dr. Sears, in terms, we're talking about the immune system, he is the master of inflammation. He's a guy who wrote the Zone books, beginning with the anti-inflammation zone. That is another very, very interesting, powerful presentation that he made, and that is available on our site. And you can see here that we are trying to cover the basic facts that the average person needs to understand about the 12 systems. And you can see really we've kind of like, most of these I did myself in my presentation along with Sherry. And again, the idea was to make it a simple, lots of pictures. I mean, I use like 80 to 100 slides and pictures when I'm doing my presentation, because we want people, especially lay people, who have never been exposed to these things, we want them to be able to grasp these things as much as possible. Let's see, what else do we have? We have, okay, let me go on to the next slide. Like I said, I spoke about the digestive system. Now, Dr. Coolish, who has been on our webinars, who's going to be on next week, one of the things he said, and he's a brilliant, brilliant scientist, he said probably the two main things that people need to focus on in health are, well, the teeth and the gut. Well, the second, why the gut? Well, the gut has over 70% of the immune system residing in it. 70% of the immune system is in your gut. Now, does that make it important? Absolutely. And yet, many of us have abused drugs and alcohol and antibiotics from childhood, which has destroyed a lot of our immune systems. A lot of the good bacteria in our gut help to support our immune systems. And so he does a lot of teaching about that. Of course, the teeth as well. And I'm going to show you a slide by Dr. Luna, who has been able to find out and show that there are conditions in your cardiovascular system, your nervous system, that actually start in the teeth. So very, very important. And I covered that in the digestive system. The cardiovascular system, of course, is very, very important. And these two, Dr. Harry is another favorite of ours. He's just a darn good presenter. Yes, he talks about a specific nutritional product, but hey, he also provides some very, very fascinating information as well. And so he's going to be on, I think, in 2 weeks from now. Of course, Dr. Steve is right there next to him. Dental health and Dr. Luna. Now, this guy may have the look of a baby face, but tell you what, he's no slouch at all. Cambridge University, Cambridge, yeah, it's Cambridge itself, announced that Dr. Luna was among the top medical scientists in the world in 2005. I know he doesn't look it, but he did a fantastic presentation on how things like heart attack, strokes could be related to mercury poisoning. And he's going to be back again to talk about more about how conditions in your teeth can cause other conditions in your body. Bone health has something we're very interested in as we age. And Dr. Cates, who is one of the top researchers in the world in that category, and he has a database that he claims is second to none of the relationship between nutrition and bone health. Nutrition and bone health and osteoporosis or whatever. And he gives some really, really good information on that. That's also available on the site. But I just wanted to mention this as well. Now, Dr. Cates focuses on nutrition as a means to helping your bones be stronger. But the truth is, bone health is not just influenced by nutrition. There are several things involved in it. And of course, that includes hormones, vitamin and mineral profile, especially vitamin D and calcium. Your level of exposure to sunlight. I come from a country in which we've seen some really bad cases of rickets because some kids were just not exposed to sunlight. Exercise can determine your bone health, the pH of your blood, inflammation. Dr. again, Dr. Sears, your thoughts. Did you know that clinical depression or chronic depression can cause osteoporosis?
Mm.
People don't even realize that, but they've been able to actually do the research and find that out. And one of the ways it causes osteoporosis is that it releases, depression is this form of stress. Stress releases stress hormones, especially called cortisol. Cortisol is one of the